Today it's the beginning of November, but it's really, really nice outside. Like almost a little bit too hot for November anyway. But we are doing yard work, cleaning up dead stuff, and I'm pulling out vines. And I thought I would share with you a technique that I'm sure somebody else has done it before, but I personally discovered for vine removal, and I thought I would make a quick video and share that with you in case somebody has a bunch of vines that grow up next to their woods and they want to clear it and they just don't know how to even get started, because it can be really intimidating when you just have like a mountain of vines and you don't even know where to start. Like, you can't pull them out by the roots because you can't get to the roots. So I've got my gloves, I've got my work shirt and my work jeans, my boots, my clippers, and my rake are already out there, and I'll show you what kind of vines I'm talking about, like what I'm dealing with, and then we'll get to work. And I will show you my special technique. So this is the kind of vines I'm talking about, where you've got your woods here, there's the trees, and just all along the edge of the woods is almost like a shrubbery or a hedgerow of vines. It's mostly honeysuckle. There are blackberries, there are grapes, there are some other nasty thorny things, and some other things that just completely take over. So if you look at this, there's really no edge, and it's so tangled up that you can't see the ground through it. If you tried to walk through it, you'd be tripping all over yourself. It's just like a mountain of vines. Now, these vines went all the way up against that shed on both sides, on three sides. And the poor little oak tree was like all wrapped up. You can probably see where it's kind of twisted down near the bottom. So you can see I cleared all next to the shed, and now I'm clearing this patch here. And I mean, obviously I've already started my work, but I wanted to show you how I do this. It's kind of simple, really, and it actually goes by really, really quickly. So you can see how this here, let me back up a bit. So this here was all covered in vines like 10 minutes ago. And now there's kind of like a cut wall here. So what I do, I'll tell you and then I'll show you. What I do is I pick a spot, like say I want to do this patch here. Start from an edge as close as you can get to any kind of an edge, and then you just kind of take the vines and you start clipping them, and you clip straight as much as you want to do. I try and do it in small chunks, like kind of 3 by 3 foot square. So you just start cutting and then use your rake to pull that section as hard as you can, and then you'll be able to see the next layer of vines you need to cut. You cut that layer and you pull your rake again, and then you'll see the next layer of vines that haven't been cut yet, and you keep doing that till you get all the way down to the ground, and you'll have kind of a path around to the outside edge. And then you just keep pulling that ball of vines with your rake and cutting and pulling and cutting and pulling, and you're not trying to uproot anything at this point. You're just cutting, pulling, until you've cut all of those vines away, and you can roll it into like a big ball in your grass. And then later you can pull all the roots out if you feel up to it. And then you just go to your next section and you do the same thing. You cut around the base, you cut around the edges, and you roll it, and anything that's still attached you cut, and you keep doing that until that ball of vines is completely freed. So I will turn this off for a second and get it all situated so that I can show you a little bit better how I do that. So you're not just staring at vines, because that would be boring. All right, so like I said, you want to do it in small sections. It can be, I wouldn't go any smaller than 1 foot, but it can be 2 feet, 4 feet, 5 feet, whatever feels most comfortable for you. So just start grabbing things and cutting them until it's freed and push it over. I only have 1 glove because it's easier for me to get a hold on the clippers without the glove, but whatever works best for you. Not all of these are thorny, but there are some. I've got some scratches, but I don't really care. So that's all up to you. So you just kind of push them over. They're vines, they stick to each other. Clip things, push. There's a big one there. Clip that, push it over. Clip that, push it over. Clip that, push it over. And so on. And when I feel like I've got a good amount, I'll grab my rake and start to pull it away. Just grab my rake, just a regular garden rake, and kind of pull at it from the bottom and just leave the rake there. Don't pick it back up because it helps hold the vines down. And then I can see where I have things that are still attached. They're pulled tight because they're not cut yet, and that makes them easy to see next to the other ones. So I just cut some of those and keep on going. Now, depending on what kind of vines you have, you may need something a little bit bigger, but these are all pretty small, and I can just use the handheld clippers to separate them. So as you can kind of see, I've separated a good amount here. So this is going to be my patch that I'm dealing with right now. So there's still some on the edge here. I'm going to go ahead and clip it just so that edge is a little bit cleaner. And then I get my rake. It's starting to get buried a little bit. And just roll it and pull it. And start clipping at those base ones again until I've gone all the way around. And once you've gone all the way around, you just kind of start working at the bottom, closer to the ground where the roots go in. Don't bother trying to pull the roots out now. You'll get discouraged. It'll make even more of a mess. You'll probably get stabbed with thorns. Just grab a bunch and start clipping. When you get down to the ground, you have leaves and grass and all kinds of dead stuff. So don't try and find the vines, really just grab a patch and cut all the way through it, whether it's grass or vines. Trying to weed them out from the grass just takes too long. Alright, so now you can see I've got this big pile here. It was here, it was attached. I cut it all loose and rolled it out. Now I'm just gonna go throw it on our burn pile and keep knocking my way through those vines. And that's how you get it done pretty quickly. That was a solid, very solid Saturday afternoon's work. It's not completely finished. You know, I've still got to pull all the nubs and roots and twigs out. But I'm gonna go ahead and show you real quick before my battery dies, because it's about to. It keeps like shutting off the screen even though the video is still going. But sorry. Go ahead and show you guys the work that's been done. So this is about the line where we were this morning. I've cleared all the way over to here. Uncovered the pump whose handle is broken, so I'm gonna have to work on that. But as you can see, this part has all been cleared of roots and whatnot next to the shed, and then this all still needs to be cleared. But most of the hard and scratchy work is done, so this will be a job for another day. The sun's getting low in the sky, and whew, I'm done. Well, not really done. I'm done out here. Now I need to go clean up the lunch mess that I didn't clean up after lunch, and close the door and kill like 5 billion flies. And probably figure out what's going to be for dinner, which is probably only like 3:30 or 4 o'clock now. I hate it when we do time change. It throws me all off. Feels so much later than it is, technically. But yeah, so thanks for coming along on this little journey. If you have any questions, feel free to leave me a comment, and I'll try and get back to those as best I can. I hope that if you have this problem, that this helped you figure out how to attack it, if you will. And I will see you guys again next time. If you like seeing stuff like this and you thought it was useful, go ahead and like this video. And if you want to see more in the future, don't forget to subscribe. And I will see you guys again soon. Bye.